Hello everybody! Yay! I have time to do a reading. I've been running around today and in between patients, and so I do have time. I have a long lunch break today, so I decided to do more to throw cards for the candidates. A lot of people have preferences about who they want to see be the next president of the United States, and so we're going to do 4 candidates today. So the first candidate is going to be Donald Trump. We're going to just check and see if Donald Trump is going to be running in 220, if he's going to have to stop his 220 bid, or if he's going to continue on and win. We'll do him first because people are asking about it. People are getting nervous. I'm more than happy to check on Donald Trump. The second people asked for was Bernie Sanders. So we'll go ahead and do Bernie Sanders, and then we'll do Joe Biden, and then if we have time we'll do Kamala Harris, because I know a lot of people are excited about Kamala Harris. So I'm trying to get to, there are so many candidates this year, so I'll be at this for a while, but we're going to hit 4 today: Trump, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris. Does that sound good? And then if you want me to look at somebody else later, I can. But So last night when I did my meditation, it just felt like more confirmation that a report of some type is going to be coming out probably soon. If I don't know if it's going to come out today. They're saying it's going to come out today. I just feel like things start to really unravel next week. When I look at the map, or when I look at the calendar, when I look at the energy, stuff is going to be coming out next week that's significant, and more stuff is going to be coming out about how the early investigation was conducted, and Rod Rosenstein is going to be speaking some more publicly, even though he's retiring, excuse me. All right. So let's go ahead now and turn the camera towards the cards, and we're going to just check on the future of Donald Trump in the 220 election. Is he going to run? All right, Mr. Donald Trump. Are you going to have to call off your 220 bid for the White House, or are you going to win? Are you going to run? Are you going to win? Are you going to lose? Are you going to resign? How is the energy? Will Donald Trump run in 220? How is the 220 campaign for Trump running? Some people think he'll be reelected. Will Trump run in 220? How will he do? Linda G has said that she doesn't think he'll run. Look at this: worry, stress, trouble sleeping. This is the same energy that Linda G, the Comanche psychic, had said the same thing, that she had trouble sleeping, stress. King of Cups is coming in. Offers. Health is not good. Inverted strength card. Could be exhausted, not sleeping. Here again, an offer. There's an offer here, and the man who gives the offer, not knowing what to do, not knowing to take an offer. Above and below. The business, focusing on business. Honestly, it looks like he would rather be in the public sector working on his business at this point. I don't see him wanting to continue. If he could get out of being the president, I think he would, because this is somebody who would rather go back to the business world. The business world is easier, and it's just a better life for him than the presidency, when you're under a microscope. When you're in the White House, you're under a microscope. So He never had that kind of oversight before, and I think it's just making him miserable. He had a much funner life before this all happened. Judgment coming down, you can see here, regarding money. You can see here is a money, or how he harvests his money, action, reaction, law or possible legal case, the judge, Yehudit, right? The judge, she enters. The perfect judge, right? Where he's at right now, travel. I know he's in Alabama right now, but I also know that he's been doing some international travel. What is around him? See how he keeps getting these offers coming in? Hopes and fears, confused. He doesn't know if he wants to run. He's not doing well. He's exhausted. He's not sleeping. Mentally, he's having trouble focusing. The investigations are all hitting at once. You can see the toll it's taking on him, and what he really wants to do is go back to his business. Final outcome, the inverted death card. No, he is not running in 220, and in fact, I think that his political career is over. I'll do a clarification for people if you like. You see the cards, you can read them for yourself. I can't see this as re-election. Maybe somebody else going to interpret it another way, but not me. Not with, it's over. Justice prevails. Judah, the judge. Based on a judgment, based on a decision, sound mind leaves the presidency and instead focuses on his business. I don't see jail cards here. I see leaving and going back to the private sector and business. That's how I would interpret his cards. Okay, interesting. Wasn't that interesting? Very interesting. Oh, before I forget, here is one of the shawls I bought. This is fun. This is a 100% cashmere shawl for those cold winter days. You can see it's nice and long, so it covers the back. These shawls are sold on the street when you walk downtown Palm Springs when I was there. And I just bought, they were $10 each. So I bought 5 of them, $50. But this one I couldn't say no to. It was a cashmere, and I just love cashmere. All right, so the next person we're doing, because I wrote it all down, is, Bernie Sanders. I like Bernie. I voted for him in the primary. I don't know if y'all did, but I did vote for him in the primary. All right, let's go ahead and we'll look at Bernie Sanders. How you doing, Bernie boy? All right, how will Bernie do in 2020? How will Bernie? He has got his ducks in a row. He's ready to rock and roll. Mr. Bernie Sanders, how are you going to do in this campaign? How are you doing? What is Bernie going to do? How is Bernie going to do? It's hard not to like Bernie. He's got one of those personalities where everybody kind of really likes him. Oh. Constricted. He feels constricted right now, feels like he has to get his message out to more people. Also, he needs to strengthen his policies regarding international affairs. So there's some concerns about his foreign policy. He needs to strengthen his stance on foreign policy. His domestic policy is not what's going to hurt him, it's his foreign policies. Feeling a little trapped though right now. I want to find out more about what that is about, where he's at right now. He's going to be spending a lot of money on this campaign. Judgment right over him regarding spending of money. Guy works very, very hard, but look at all this money he's losing. They've raised a lot of money for this campaign, and let me tell you, they're spending it all. Look at how hard this guy works. people talk about his age because he's, I think, 77, but I'll tell you, this guy is in excellent health. I think he's mostly plant-based. He's mostly on I think he may be vegetarian or mostly vegetarian. He's just extremely health conscious, lean, exercises. But this guy has more energy than any candidate out there. Him and Amy Klobuchar are the ones that just really, I always get the impression they're just very strong on the trail. But look at how hard this guy works. Coming out of inverted Two of Pentacles, there was a lot that had to get organized to make this campaign be as successful as he wants it to be. But the main thing that I'm seeing here is all these inverted pentacle cards. Man, is this going to be an expensive campaign. He's going to get big donors. I know people say that Sanders is not going to take the large donors, but he is going to get help from the business sector. Green sector, green businesses, progressive businesses, they will be supporting this candidate. His cards are much stronger than Trump's, obviously. Well, this is like no drama Obama. This is going to be a campaign where Bernie Sanders wants no nonsense, no inappropriate behavior with women anymore, everybody above board, everybody kosher, no drama. I really like the way he's cleaning up his campaign. Hopes and fears, the perfect judge. He really walks the walk. You may not like him, you might not agree with his politics, but boy, he is the emperor. He is somebody who really wants to do this the right way. He really wants to be conscientious. You got to respect him for that, even if you don't agree with his politics. Even Trump gave him compliment for that. He's a true believer. Final outcome. Honestly, inverted lover card, he will not be compromised, and it could lead to conflicts. He won't sell himself out, and an inability to sell himself out, trickery, anger, a refusal to be bought, a refusal to play, could result in conflict with big donors. It's interesting when you look at cards like this because it suggests that if somebody says, no, I'm not going to do that, or no, I have moral and ethical problems with that, everybody has to be above board, it actually could theoretically hurt him with potential donors in the future. The big donors that are endorsing him, because he has a conflict regarding not wanting to take offers which could be questionable or that are morally questionable. Inverted lover card, infidelity or morally questionable behavior, conflict. Trickery, doesn't want to do business regarding trickery or trickster, and then the business card coming up, the large business here. So what I would say is what's going to hurt him as a candidate is the fact that he's so strict about those sorts of things. In a way, it kind of binds him. You know, how much are you willing to sell your principles in order to win the election? And that's the conflict that Bernie Sanders is having, which may make it difficult for him to win the election. I hate to say it like that, but this as the outcome, refusing to take the offer, lovers inverted, infidelity, cheating, refusing to engage in that leads to conflicts. It is the problem with Sanders' campaign, the fact that he's really going to be very strict about that and really strict about holding accountable the sources of the money. He's really aware of the ways, he's aware of the pitfalls, and he's doing his best to avoid them. Very interesting candidate and a very interesting read. All right. That was very interesting. I did not expect that, but I'm not surprised. I want to check out Joe Biden. Joe Biden is an interesting character. I know that the Russians have declared all-out war with Joe Biden, and I've seen some very strange things on YouTube about Joe Biden. Let me just say, with the power of editing, you can make anyone look like anything. With the power of editing, you can make people look like terrorists. So that's kind of what's happening with Joe Biden right now. He's been heavily targeted by by Russian hackers, and you're going to be hearing some very bizarre rumors about him. So obviously, the powers that be are threatened by Joe Biden. Otherwise, they wouldn't be having such a massive conspiracy theory campaigns around him, it's really bizarre, some of what's out there. But take it with a grain of salt, and just remember that when you edit something, you can tell any story with good editing. You can turn Mary Poppins into a horror story if you want to with good editing. All right. I'm going to go ahead and check now on Joe Biden. All right. Are we looking at President Biden? Are we going to be looking at Joe Biden as the next president? What are the odds that Joe Biden is going to win the presidency? Joe Biden for president. Joe Biden for president. He's a strong candidate. Movement, chariot, coming out of confusion. To be honest with you, my impression is that one of the reasons he held off announcing is because he wanted to wait to see who else was running. I think he has mixed feelings about whether or not he wants to be the president. An inverted moon card. It's not like he really, really wants to do this. It's more like, I'll jump in once everybody... It's like, I'll jump in if I have to. It's not like, wow, I really want to do this. This is an inverted moon card, like, okay, is there anybody showing up who's going to try and beat Trump? Do I have to run? Inverted moon suggests confusion about what one should do. Chariot indicates possible running. Yeah, he was asked before. He's actually turned it down. For example, he didn't want to run. He didn't want to run in 2016. Refusing offers. He was asked to run before this, and he chose not to. Very strong candidate. Ace of Wands in the 4th house. But the conflict is the 3rd house. He has conflict here. He has conflict here. Inverted moon card. I'll be honest with you. This guy is the guy who could win, but he doesn't want to be I don't think he wants to be the president. The health, the health card, inverted. I'm not saying that he's sick. I'm saying it's more that he is concerned about his own health and how much time he has left. And is this really how I want to spend the later part of my life? He has concerns about the strain on his marriage, the strain on his life, the strain on his health. I think he wants to get out of this situation. Inverted temperance card. Inverted cup card, King of Cups. Here's the problem with these cards. They indicate he's a strong candidate, but they also indicate that he seriously has doubts about whether or not he wants to run because he doesn't want the emotional and physical strain of it, and he's not so sure that at this time in his life, this is how he wants to spend his senior years. And so it isn't that he's holding back just because he wants to see what other people are doing. He's also holding back because he really just doesn't know if he wants to deal with this at this time in his life. It's almost like he's being pushed to run, but he doesn't want to. If I have to, I will run. That's the problem with Joe Biden's cards. All right, so again, I'm surprised that I saw that because you would think, yeah, doesn't he want to be the president? Doesn't everybody want to be the president? But actually, Joe Biden is like, well, let me see who else is running. Do I really want to spend the last years of my life dealing with that? You know, I'm kind of done, and I did Washington, and I was having fun with my friends, and I've been speaking, and he's such a social person, Joe Biden. He's the most social. He's a true extrovert, you know. So he's kind of a born politician that way. But we shall see. I don't know. He does. I don't think he wants to. Part of him really does not want to run. Isn't that surprising? All right, let's do Kamala Harris. All right, Miss Kamala. What's gonna be? What's gonna be? Making California proud. All right, Kamala, how are you going to do? What is going on with Miss Kamala Harris? Businessman. Help from a businessman. What is that about? Staying and fighting the fight, not wanting to walk away. So more than likely what's going to happen is some stuff is going to come out. They're going to start hitting her with some controversies. That's going to how I'm going to interpret this, because there's some kind of a battle that she enters into and refuses to walk away. So some controversy is likely to hit, and then she's going to have to explain or fight or push against these this accusations or this challenge that she's having. Something's going to come up. A controversy is going to come up with her. And it will be so controversial, she may think about leaving, and then she stays and fights. Something's coming up with Kamala Harris. She's very strong. Rocky waters ahead for her. I think that something's going to come out about her, and they're going to be pushing really hard to try and get her out of the race. I think she's probably going to be attacked a lot from the right, and it's going to be very brutal, which unfortunately is what seems to always happen when a woman enters the race. They tend to be attacked a lot more than their male counterpart. And you can see here an inverted death card could indicate that she may drop out earlier than people had originally suspected, which surprises me because the California primary is going to be early this year, and it seems to be something due to a battle that comes up. And then rocky waters are ahead for her. But she's strong. She comes as a strong woman. And then doing her work. What's the final outcome? Loss of son. I think, unfortunately, Kamala Harris is not going to make it, and there's some stuff that's going to come out that's going to make it very difficult for her. All right, there you have it. Those are the three candidates. I would say of all of them, Bernie Sanders came out the strongest. The reason why Biden was not as strong is because Biden doesn't want to run. There's a part of him that really does not want to do this. He doesn't want to spend the last years of his life fighting for an election and then spending it in the White House and dealing with all of that. He did that for years and years and years, and there's just part of him that really wants to be done and give it to somebody else. And that's part of why he's sitting back and waiting to see if somebody else can beat Donald Trump. So with him being hesitant about getting in, it's of the three candidates, Sanders came in the strongest. And I'll tell you something about Sanders. He's going to be very, very good about making sure that there's no drama and he wants no controversy about how his campaign is run. He's going to be very strict about it. All right, I want to thank everybody for watching. Those checking on the candidates. We will try and do a different candidate every day until we get through all the candidates. That'll be fun. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. If you're still trying to get in for appointments this week, I do have some openings for tomorrow. You can just go to the Gen Book if you want to come and see me at their phone readings, and yeah, I would love to read for you. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye.